Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why, when it comes to intimacy, most men look simple, but in reality, they're far more complex than we give them credit for? We've been told for years that men are easy to please, that if you just do A, B, and C, they'll be happy. But here's the shocking truth most women don't realize. 98% of men orgasm not just from a physical act, but from something far deeper. Now, that might surprise you, because we live in a world where intimacy is often reduced to biology, to mechanics, to just do this, and you'll get that. But when you step into the psychology of attraction and connection, you discover that what truly drives men isn't technique, it's emotion. Think about it, men carry pressures society never talks about. They're expected to be strong, confident, unshakable. But deep down, every man craves something he rarely admits. He wants to feel accepted, desired, safe enough to let go. And when a woman gives him that, when she creates the space where he can relax his guard, that's when he experiences release at a level most women don't even know exists. So when I say 98% of men orgasm from just this, I'm not talking about some hidden move or secret trick. I'm talking about something far more powerful, and it's hidden in plain sight. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly what that is. I'm going to break down the 5 key things most women never hear about men, but once you understand them, you'll change the way your man experiences intimacy with you forever. This isn't about doing more, it's about understanding more. Because once you know what truly unlocks a man, you'll realize it was never just physical. So let's dive in. When most people talk about male desire, they make it sound like it's all about the physical. Touch here, do this, and you'll get a reaction. And while that might be partly true, here's what very few women actually know: a man's ability to truly let go, to reach the deepest level of pleasure, isn't about what's happening to his body. It's about what's happening in his mind. You see, men live with an invisible armor. From a young age, they're taught, be tough. Don't show weakness. Don't cry. Don't let anyone see you vulnerable. That armor protects them in the outside world. But when it comes to intimacy, that same armor becomes a cage. Because intimacy is by nature about vulnerability. Now, here's the fascinating part: when a man feels safe enough to remove that armor with you, when he knows he won't be judged, mocked, or rejected, something incredible happens. He relaxes, he surrenders, and in that surrender, his body is finally free to experience the full depth of release. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to sleep in a room where you don't feel safe. The door's unlocked, strange noises outside, your mind is on alert. Even if you lie down, you never really rest. But if you're in a safe, warm room, door locked, wrapped in a soft blanket, you let go completely. That's what intimacy feels like for a man when he trusts you. Safety unlocks release, and this is the secret most women overlook. They think men don't need that reassurance. But the truth is, 98% of men orgasm more deeply, more completely, when they feel safe with the woman they're with. It's not about doing something extraordinary. It's about making him feel like he can finally take off the mask he wears all day. How do you create that safety? It's not complicated. It's in the small moments, the way you look at him with admiration, not criticism. The way you touch him with warmth, not pressure. The way you respond to his vulnerability with compassion, not judgment. These tiny signals tell him, you're safe here. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be perfect. You can just be you. And here's the kicker: when a man feels that, it doesn't just make him enjoy intimacy more. It makes him crave you. Because in a world that constantly demands his strength, you become the one place where he can finally be soft. And trust me, that's addictive. So the next time you're with him, remember, it's not about how much you do. It's about how safe you make him feel while you're doing it. Because safety is the foundation of intimacy. And when a man feels safe, his body, his mind, and his emotions all align, unlocking the kind of release that 98% of men admit they don't experience often enough. Most people assume men are purely physical creatures when it comes to intimacy. We hear the cliche all the time: men are visual. They just need to see something. And that's enough. And while there's some truth to that, yes, men are often visually wired. What most women don't realize is that what truly elevates his experience isn't what he sees, it's what he feels in his mind. Let me explain. Think about a time you've been complimented in a way that lit you up. Maybe someone told you how beautiful you looked when you weren't even trying. Or maybe they noticed a little detail about you that no one else had ever pointed out. That one sentence, that one look, probably stayed with you far longer than anything they physically did. It's the same for men. A man can be touched, kissed, or held But what makes the difference between a shallow experience and an unforgettable one is the mental stimulation behind it. It's how you speak to his ego, his identity, and his emotions. You see, men want to feel admired. They want to feel like they're the man in your eyes. And when you give him that sense of significance, not in a fake way, but in a real, authentic way, you awaken a deeper level of arousal in him. Suddenly, it's not just about his body responding, it's his whole being leaning into the experience. Imagine this scenario. A man might think he's doing something small, maybe just making you laugh or opening a jar for you or planning a simple date night. But if in that moment you look at him and say, I love how you take care of me. You make me feel so safe. You've just lit up his entire brain. That validation, that affirmation is fuel. And when he later connects with you physically, all of that mental energy comes rushing into the experience. And here's where it gets powerful. 98% of men orgasm more intensely when their minds are engaged with feelings of pride, significance, and admiration. Because it's not just his body that's letting go, it's his ego being satisfied, his identity being affirmed. Mental stimulation doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be playful teasing, whispering something in his ear that makes him smile, telling him you love how he makes you feel, or even just looking at him with admiration in your eyes. These are the kinds of things that bypass the physical and go straight into his psychology. Now, let me pause here because I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, so I have to constantly flatter him? Not at all. Men, like women, can tell when something is fake. What matters is genuine recognition. Catch him doing something right, notice the effort he puts in, appreciate the small ways he shows up for you. That's where the magic happens. Because when a man feels mentally stimulated by your words, your presence, your admiration, he doesn't just connect with you physically, he bonds with you emotionally. And that's the secret most women don't realize. For men, mental stimulation is foreplay. And when the mind is aroused, the body follows in ways that are far more powerful. So here's the takeaway if you want to unlock a deeper level of connection with a man. Don't just think about what you do to him. Think about what you say, how you look at him, and how you make him feel. Because in intimacy, his body might respond quickly, but it's his mind that decides how deeply he experiences the moment. If there's one thing I've learned coaching relationships for years, it's this: what people anticipate is often more powerful than what they actually experience. And when it comes to intimacy, that truth couldn't be more real. Most women are told that men want things fast, direct, and straightforward. Get to the point, right? But here's the surprising reality. 98% of men orgasm more intensely when there's a build-up, when anticipation is part of the journey. Think about it. When you're waiting for something exciting, your favorite artist about to walk on stage, or that moment just before the roller coaster drops, your heart pounds, your senses heighten, and your mind is locked in. That's anticipation at work. The same principle applies to intimacy. For men, the anticipation is the story before the ending. It's the tension that makes the release feel extraordinary. Too often, couples rush through intimacy like they're trying to tick a box. Fast, efficient, over and done. But here's the secret: slowing down, creating suspense, is what transforms a physical act into an unforgettable experience. Men may not always say it, but they want to be taken on a journey. When you make him wait just a little, when you add layers of curiosity and surprise, you're not teasing him in a frustrating way, you're heightening every part of his experience. Here's a simple analogy. Imagine watching a movie. If the film rushed straight to the ending, it wouldn't feel satisfying. The ending is only powerful because of the story that led up to it. The highs, the lows, the suspense, the tension. Intimacy works the same way. If the story is missing, the ending feels flat. But when there's build-up, the ending feels like a climax, not just a conclusion. So how do you create anticipation with a man? It's in the pauses. The playful smile you hold just a little longer. The way you delay the moment he thinks is coming. The unpredictability that keeps him guessing. These small acts create a rhythm of tension and release, and that rhythm is addictive. And let me tell you why this matters. When anticipation is part of the moment, a man doesn't just orgasm physically, he experiences it emotionally. His brain connects the pleasure to you, not just the act. He starts associating you with excitement, unpredictability, and intensity. That's what makes him crave you over and over. Now, here's the important part. Anticipation doesn't mean withholding affection or playing games. It's not about manipulation. It's about creating presence. It's saying, I want this moment to matter. I want it to have depth. And in doing that, you're not just giving him a physical experience. You're giving him a memory that lingers long after the moment is over. The truth is, when men look back on the best intimate moments of their lives, it's rarely about a single move or technique. It's about how the moment made them feel, how it built up, how it unfolded, how it was more than just physical. And anticipation is the thread that weaves all of that together. So here's the key takeaway: don't rush. The power isn't in getting to the finish line quickly. It's in savoring the journey together. Because when anticipation becomes part of the equation, you transform an ordinary moment into an extraordinary one. And that, more than anything else, is what 98% of men wish more women understood. Here's something most people never stop to consider men carry around a hidden fear almost every day of their lives. It's the quiet question in the back of their mind: am I enough? And now on the outside, he may look confident, he may walk tall, joke with friends, succeed at work, and even appear unshakable. But deep inside, many men are haunted by self-doubt. They wonder if they're strong enough, smart enough, attractive enough, or successful enough. And when it comes to intimacy, that insecurity can follow them right into the bedroom. Here's where you come in, because one of the most powerful forces in a man's intimate experience is validation. When you show him that he is enough, that he is wanted, desired, and appreciated, you silence the inner doubt. And when that fear quiets, his body and emotions are finally free to let go fully. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to perform on stage in front of an audience that's constantly judging you, looking for mistakes, waiting for you to fail. Even if you're talented, you'll hold back. You'll be cautious, nervous, restrained. But imagine performing for an audience that cheers for you, smiles at you, and makes you feel like a star. Suddenly, you perform with passion, freedom, and energy. That's what validation does for a man in intimacy. And this is where most women don't realize their power. 98% of men orgasm more deeply when they feel accepted and validated, because the experience stops being just about performance. It becomes about connection. He stops worrying about, am I doing this right? And starts feeling, I'm wanted exactly as I am. Oh no, what does this look like in practice? It's not about over-the-top praise. It's about genuine acknowledgement. Notice the little things he does right. Tell him what you enjoy about being close to him. Smile in ways that show you're genuinely present, not just going through the motions. Even small affirmations like, I love when you hold me like that, or you make me feel so good, can make a man light up inside. And let's talk about acceptance for a moment. Acceptance is different from validation, but they work hand in hand. Acceptance is when you don't just validate his strengths, but also make him feel okay in his imperfections. Because men, just like women, have insecurities about their bodies, their abilities, and their performance. When you make him feel like those insecurities don't matter, that you love and want him, not some flawless version of him, you create a safe space that unlocks his vulnerability. And remember, intimacy isn't just about bodies, it's about emotions. When a man feels validated and accepted, intimacy becomes more than release. It becomes affirmation. It becomes his way of saying, I feel safe with you. There, I feel good enough with you. I feel loved by you. Here's the part that will surprise you. Most men will never say this out loud. They won't tell you, I need validation to feel secure. That's because many don't even realize it themselves. But when you give it to him, you'll see the difference instantly. His guard drops, his confidence rises, and his experience with you deepens in a way that no physical trick could ever achieve. So here's the key takeaway. Never underestimate the power of your words, your expressions, your acceptance. Men might not admit it, but they're starved for validation in a world that constantly questions their worth. And when you become the person who gives it freely, authentically, and lovingly, you don't just change the way he experiences intimacy, you change the way he experiences himself. After everything we've talked about, the emotional safety, the mental stimulation, the power of anticipation, and the need for validation, there's one final truth that often gets overlooked. And it's this for many men. Orgasm isn't just physical release. It's a silent expression of love. Now, that might sound unusual. We often think of men as being purely physical in intimacy. But here's the secret. When a man truly cares for you, that release becomes his way of saying something words often fail to capture. It's his way of saying, I trust you. I feel close to you. I'm safe with you. Think about how men communicate in other areas of life. Many don't sit down and pour out their feelings in long conversations. Instead, they show love through actions, fixing something for you, protecting you, showing up when you need them. In the same way, Intimacy becomes one of their most vulnerable actions. And when they let go fully in your presence, it's more than biology. It's an act of emotional surrender. Here's what most women don't realize: 98% of men experience their most meaningful, unforgettable orgasms, not because of what was done physically, but because of how deeply connected they felt in that moment. The physical side fades quickly, but the emotional imprint, the trust, the closeness, the love that stays with him. And that's why the secret isn't about finding the perfect technique, the ultimate move, or the all-one thing magazines always promise. The real secret is this: when a man feels emotionally safe, mentally engaged, validated, accepted, and connected, his release is no longer just about his body. It's about his heart. So here's my message to you: don't underestimate the power you hold in shaping his experience. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overperform. You simply need to create a space where he feels loved, appreciated, and safe enough to be himself. Because when you do, you'll discover a side of him that most women never get to see: the vulnerable, open, deeply connected side. And here's the beautiful part: when you unlock this for him, he will crave you more than the act itself, because it's not the release he's addicted to. It's the feeling of being seen, understood, and loved by you. So let me leave you with this. If this message has opened your eyes, if it's shifted the way you see men, I want you to do two things right now. One, reflect on your relationship. Ask yourself, have I been focusing more on the physical checklist or on the emotional connection behind it? Because if it's the latter, you're already ahead of the game. Two, engage with this conversation. Drop a comment below and tell me what part of this resonated with you most. Was it the idea of safety, anticipation, validation, or this final truth that intimacy is a silent expression of love? And if you want me to go even deeper, to create a full guide on how to build unshakable intimacy and connection with your man, then type "yes" in the comments, and I'll know this is a conversation worth continuing, because intimacy isn't just about bodies, it's about hearts. And when you understand that you don't just change your relationship, you change the way your man loves you for life.